reception you've gotten from traveling to space? What are you expecting that to look like in 5 years? Or is it 10 years? You tell us.
Well, 5 years from now, I think we'll still be most likely the only commercial spaceship company in the world. I think that, and we will have taken into space by 5 years from now, I would say 20 times the amount of people that NASA have taken into space in the last 60 years. So, I mean, you know, we're going to be able to create a lot of astronauts, and people are going to have, you know, the voyage of their lives, and they're going to have an incredible experience. Our initial flight's going to be suborbital. 5 years from now, we'll be doing orbital flights. Over the next 5 years, we'll also be putting satellites into space at a fraction of the price that it's cost to date. So that, you know, that could mean that universities could afford to have their own satellites. Schools even could afford to have their own satellites. So, you know, that's going to be tremendously exciting. And then if you go forward, you know, 15, 20 years, I mean, I just arrived from Shanghai this morning, feeling a little bit like it, but after a 21-hour journey, you know, 15, 20 years from now, I hope that we'll be able to transport you to Shanghai, you know, in maybe 2 hours, you know, just pop you out of the Earth's atmosphere and pop you straight back down again.
Wow.
Anyway, we'll try to speed your time up at the airport.
How do you see the world today? What is your expectations of how things will shift in the coming 10 years?
It's a big question.
And this, look globally, you know, geographies as well as sort of...
well, I mean, I think it was well summarized earlier. I mean, there's no question that, you know, it's incredibly exciting what's happening in South America. Again, it was well pointed out, you know, Africa's growing, you know, 5 or 6% a year, enormous growth. It's tremendous seeing, you know, seeing what's going on in Africa, enormous potential for the people there to, you know, be lifted out of poverty. You know, the Far East, I mean, you go into Shanghai, it's mind-boggling, you know, what's happening. I mean, I met a gentleman in Shanghai. He built a 20-story office block in 10 days, which were finished which is 80% more carbon efficient than any of your normal office blocks in the West. But I mean, you know, just like a mechanical, help me. I'm dyslexic. Mechano. What's that game you? Lego. All right, the Lego set. Thank you very much.
There's a Lego statue right outside.
But anyway, it's just it's mind-boggling what's going on there. So for those of us who live in Europe and America, you know, we've got a lot of hard work ahead to keep up, I think.